One shotgun survived 500,000 rounds and still functions perfectly. Another takes 18 months to build, costs more than a new car, and still cannot outperform the cheaper one. The 12 gauge is the most successful firearm platform ever created. It can kill grizzly bears, win Olympic gold medals, breach doors, and harvest doves. Today, we are covering 8 ultimate 12-gauge shotguns, from the indestructible workhorse that police abuse daily to the competition beast that fires 5 rounds. Hit that subscribe button now, because by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why some shotguns cost hundreds of times more than others. Let's start with the one that survived 500,000 rounds first. Remington 870. Over 12 million Remington 870s have been manufactured since the 1950s, making it the best-selling shotgun in the history of humanity. There are documented examples of it still functioning after firing 500,000 rounds. This is 500,000 rounds, and it's not a typo. Police training facilities and shooting ranges report that 870s are still running after decades of continuous abuse that would destroy lesser guns. The design here is quite simple. There are 7 main parts of this shotgun. The dual-action bars prevent binding. A steel receiver is nearly impossible to wear. The genius is in what Remington didn't have. They didn't have a single unnecessary feature or complex mechanism, but just a pump shotgun that is reduced to its essential elements. The 870 chambers 12-gauge shells in 2.75 inches and 3 inches. Standard capacity is 4+1, but extended tubes are quite common. The receiver is also drilled and tapped for optics. Barrel lengths range from 18 inches for home defense to 28 inches for hunting. Police departments also use the 870 because it works in conditions that will stop everything else, such as mud, sand, salt water, and neglect. It keeps cycling through everything. Hunters also trust it because the ammunition is everywhere, parts are cheap, and any gunsmith can fix it. The 870 proved that sometimes the best engineering is knowing what not to do. But what if you take that same reliability and make it semi-automatic? That's exactly what this next shot can accomplish. Benelli M2.
Nice.
Benelli M2 uses an inertia-driven system with only 3 moving parts in the entire operating mechanism, and this is precisely why it's so reliable that Benelli still offers a 25-year warranty. No other shotgun manufacturer offers anything even close to this. The initial system here is quite simple. When the gun fires, recoil drives the bolt backward against the spring. There is no gas system to follow, no pistons to clear, and no ports to clog. The fewer parts that move, the fewer that break, and that's why you won't even need to claim on the warranty. Thanks to the reliability, this makes the M2 nearly maintenance-free. You can even fire thousands of rounds through dirty conditions without cleaning it, and it keeps running. The M2 has 12-gauge support, and the magazine capacity is 3+1. The barrel is chrome-lined for corrosion resistance, and the stock is synthetic and weatherproof. The M2 is probably the best semi-automatic shotgun thanks to its simplicity, no gas, and no complexity. Just physics doing its work. While the M2 makes semi-autos reliable for countries, the competitive shooter still needed something else, something even stricter, hardcore, and awesome. Beretta, a 400 XL.
Many of you will be aware of the A400. It's been around a while now.
The Beretta, a 400X CEL, can fire 5 rounds in under a second, and it does it while producing less recoil than guns half of its cycling speed. A professional competitive shooter describes it as if the gun is so ahead of you, anticipating the next shot before you are even ready for it. Its speed is so damn fast that rhythm becomes the limiting factor, not the gun itself. The secret is Beretta's blink gas system. It adjusts automatically for different loads, cycling everything from light target loads to heavy waterfowl without needing any adjustment. The system also uses gas pressure to unlock the bolt faster than any other system I've seen on the market. The stock has an adjustable length of pull, drop, and cast. The barrel features interchangeable chokes and a rib designed specifically for fast target acquisition. The trigger is also tuned for competitive shooting with minimal take-up and crisp break. Magazine capacity is 3+1 in competition, and it weighs around 7.5 pounds, distributed perfectly for balance. Professional sporting clays, trap, and skeet shooters use the A400X CEL because speed wins those competitions. While speed dominates competition, for hunters, value, tradition, and absolute reliability, the next shotgun has been the gold standard for over half a century now. Browning Satori. The Browning Satori has been in continuous production since 1973. This makes it one of the longest-running shotgun designs in history. There are father-son hunting traditions that are built around passing down the same gun. Over-under shotguns are inherently more reliable than semi-automatics or pumps because they have no moving parts that are beyond the trigger and barrel selector. The Satori takes this reliability and adds Browning's legendary build quality. The action is machined from solid steel rock. The lockup is so tight that even after tens of thousands of rounds, there is no wear or tear. The barrel is hand-fitted to the receiver, and every internal surface is polished. The Satori comes in multiple gauges, but the 12-gauge version is the most popular. Barrel length is from 26 to 32 inches, depending on the gun intended to be used, and it weighs around 7.5 to 8 pounds. Upland bird hunters, waterfowlers, and sporting clay shooters trust Satori because it never really jams. While the Satori represents the hunting heritage, what if you need a gun and only have $350 in your budget? That's when the next gun proves that price doesn't equal quality. If you are enjoying this breakdown, hit that like and drop a comment telling me which shotgun you would choose, and subscribe because the next few shotguns will definitely surprise you with how good and unique they are. Mossberg 500.
Now, since both of these standards are pretty broad and encompass so many sub-factors, I'll break down the aspects of the Mossberg 500's design.
The Mossberg 500 is the only gun to pass the U.S. military mil-spec 3443 testing, and it costs just around $350. Imagine spending $350 for a shotgun that meets the same durability standards as a gun that costs 5 times as much. The Mossberg 500 proves that price does not always mean capability. The 500 uses an aluminum receiver instead of steel, which not only saves weight, but also its cost. The safety is mounted on top of the receiver, where it is ambidextrous. The action bars are dual, preventing binding. The 500 chamber's 12-gauge comes in 2 3/4 inch and 3 inch. Standard capacity is 5+1 with extended tubes available. Battery length is around 18.5 inches for home defense and 28 inches for hunting. The gun can be completely field stripped without tools. First-time shotgun buyers choose the 500 because not only is it affordable and reliable, but the parts are cheap and maintenance is almost nothing. Hunters appreciate that you can just swap barrels in seconds, making one gun work for multiple purposes. The 500 proves that affordability and quality aren't mutually exclusive. Budget trends have their place, but when Navy SEALs kick down doors in hostile territory, they need something that absolutely cannot fail, and it isn't the cheapest. Benelli M2. The Benelli M2 is the only shotgun that was adopted by both the U.S. Marine Corps and the Navy SEALs. The crazy part is that it has never had a confirmed mechanical failure in the history of combat. There isn't one documented jam in over 20 years of deployment in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria. The M2 has been dragged through sand, mud, and urban warfare without stopping. This shotgun uses a unique Argo gas system with 2 self-cleaning pistons. If, for some reason, one of them doesn't work, the other one will keep the gas system running. This is completely sealed from debris. The dual pistons would both need to fail simultaneously for the gun to stop, which doesn't really happen. The M2 has a magazine capacity of 5+1 standard and 7+1 with an extended tube. The stock is collapsible, with a Picatinny rail, and except for light laser and optics, the barrel is prone-lined. Special Operations Forces trust this shotgun so much because when kicking down doors in hostile territory, you need a gun that will absolutely not fail. However, this reliability comes at a price of $2,000, which is nothing compared to the next gun, which costs 5 times that much. Shooters swear that it is worth every single penny. Krieghoff K80.
This gun does shoot.
Would you buy a gun that costs between $10,000 and $15,000 depending on its configuration? Well, the Krieghoff K80 is exactly that. Professional competition shooters tell the story that it's worth every single penny. The K80 is hand-built in Germany, as you can tell from the name, by craftsmen who spend months on individual guns. Every part is fitted by hand, every surface is polished, and every dimension is held to a tolerance that most firearm manufacturers never even attempt. The action is milled from a single block of steel. The lockup here is so precise that even after 100,000 rounds, most K80s show literally no wear. The trigger breaks like glass with zero creep, and the barrels are perfectly balanced. The K80 chamber has a 12-gauge barrel with barrel lengths ranging from 28 to 34 millimeters. This is by no means a small gun. It weighs around 8.5 pounds, which is distributed for perfect handling. The gun is completely modular, with interchangeable barrel sets, trigger groups, and stock configurations. Olympic-level track and ski shooters use the K80 because at the highest level of competition, equipment quality becomes the differentiator. When everyone has perfect technique, it is the gun with better consistency. It means German precision engineering demands $15,000, but when it comes to Italian artistry, that's where things get truly insane. Perazzi MX8.
A little bit harder to be reactive with, but it moves when you want it to move, and it gives you the sense that everything's repeatable, it's controlled and intuitive, I think would be the way I would put it.
Starting at a price of $15,000 and exceeding $30,000 with the custom features, buyers wait 18 months for the delivery of the Perazzi MX8. There are collectors who own a dozen but still want more. Each of them is hand-built in Brescia, Italy, by master craftsmen who learned their trade through decade-long apprenticeships. The action is machined to tolerances measured in microns. The lockup is engineered for 1,000,000 rounds without losing. Every barrel is individually tested and regulated. The MX8 chambers 12-gauge into 3-inch shells. The barrel length is 29.5 to 34 inches, which is massive. Professional competitive shooters, serious collectors, and anyone who uses shotguns as functional art choose Perazzi. At this level, you're not buying a tool, you're buying a family heirloom that will outlive you and will appreciate in value. So, which of these 8 shotguns surprised you the most? Are you a simple person who values the 870 or a precision drawn to the K80? Drop your answers in the comments and smash that subscribe button so you never miss our deep dives into the firearms that shape shooting sports and personal defense. See you in the next one.